operators in this presentation. So, but we do want to talk about service models. You all have, in some sense, sometimes you have multiple restaurants in one. We see we have actually fine dining full service restaurants. We have hybrid service, which is basically a combination of staff plus QR or a kiosk. And then we have self-service where we have people using RFID cards and QRs and kiosks. If you don't mind, let's just real quickly kind of ratchet down, like where do you, Kevin, what's your preferred model, or what would you say some of the models you use typically?
For on the service side?
Yeah.
Well, this is our second location. We were where the Dallas Mavericks currently headquartered until Mark Cuban bought the building and summarily kicked us out. But we didn't have a restaurant then, so we knew when we came into this space, given the size, given the traffic that we were, experiencing before, we had hoped that that would translate into traffic, the same kind of traffic or more, to our new facility. By the time we were ready to get going with tap room and restaurant, our biggest concern was, trying to have a traditional wait staff model. And, when we have, 3, 4, 5 different spaces in play at any given, weekend or Saturday, to try to find and recruit and keep wait staff, which typically traditionally is very high turnover, and still provide a high level of guest experience, was something that I decided early on that we should try another approach. And because of, really in part due to COVID, people were really used to using QR codes. So when I, was building this model, for me, it was imperative that we had a POS system that would facilitate QR code ordering at the table. And so where we morphed it to be is, particularly on the backs of GoTab, is when a guest walks in, especially those who've never been to the facility before, it is a big space. And so we try to do a really good job of greeting people. There's not a host stand, so to speak, but we greet people, and we invite them in and tell them, there's 2 ways to order. You can come to the counter and order, and your beer will be given to you immediately. Your cocktails will be served down, at the end of the bar. We'll give you a buzzer and for your food to come get it. Or you can pick any table, order on the QR code, and we'll bring the food directly to you. And that model has worked really, really well for us. So it's a blended model where we've got those 2 things in play in terms of ordering, while all of our staff, we don't traditionally have, this group of people, this team, your bartenders, you guys are food runners. It's a blended staff where everyone does, what they need to do to make sure the guest experience is as good as possible, so that you may be greeting people at the door. You are taking orders at the counter, you are running food from the kitchen, people have ordered from their table, doing table touches, and it's worked really well for us. In fact, we're seeing about 60% of our ordering is happening on the GoTab QR platform, which is really great. It's really efficient for us, and our goal is it's a game to us to see how quickly we can get someone's food or drink to their table. And people are just shocked. We hear all the time people say, man, I just ordered this like 2 minutes ago and here's my beer. So we're really having a good time, and really being able to focus on the guest experience instead of chasing staff turnover.